As we are aware, Indian politicians and policy makers were in blissful, what is called rural romance for a long time. Then wisdom dawned upon them that urbanization is taking place in this country in a rapid pace, and the challenges that are posed by urbanization of India are too daunting to handle. There are many challenges in urbanization of India. Very few countries in the world have witnessed the kind of urbanization that has taken place, in this country. Perhaps next only to China, the rapid urbanization is taking place, and the scale is really humongous. But we must realize that we are only at 32% urbanization. At 32% urbanization, with 30 crore people in urban areas of the country itself, now you have seen the kind of chaos the urban cities, the cities of India are witnessing. Infrastructure in most of these cities is almost cracking. Imagine what would happen as urbanization all over the world, where it reached 80%, 90% urbanization. That means 80 to 90% of the people of the country would be in urban areas, whereas here only 32% urbanization. So in the next 20 years, another 30 crore population will be added to the urban areas of the country. That means another America will be added to the Indian urban areas. Imagine the kind of problems which we are going to face. And we should also remember that we are at initial levels of prosperity. The car ownership right now in India is 7 out of 1,000. Out of 1,000 people, 7 people own cars. Imagine what will happen if every second person starts owning car, or there are many rich families in this country itself where there are 3 to 4 cars per family. There are many instances where there are more number of cars than people. Imagine what will happen to Indian urban areas. This is a chaos. There are lots of things to be tackled, but the most important thing is traffic and transportation of the urban areas. Beyond a point, roads will not be able to take the traffic congestion, the kind of traffic that is being generated in this, it happened all over the world. Then a rail-based mass transit system becomes the solution. How do you build a mass transit system? As Planning Commission bandies out the famous figure of $1 trillion, in 12th plan, you require $1 trillion or 60 lakh crore rupees to build infrastructure in this country in urban areas. McKinsey, another one, it estimated that you require about $1.2 trillion, or you require 8,200 kilometers in Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities of the country where metro needs to be constructed. If I have to give you the dimensions of the financial dimensions of this, if it's an elevated metro, at the present cost, it will cost about 250 crore per kilometer, if it's an elevated metro. If it is an underground metro, it will cost anywhere between 500 to 600 crore per kilometer. Imagine the kind of resources that are required. So Planning Commission said, fine, by and large, you have to build infrastructure in this country, because infrastructure building is not a profitable venture. So basically, you have to build with government money, but 50% of this $1 trillion, so at least 30 lakh crore rupees in 12th plan should come from the private sector through PPP initiative. Okay, public-private partnership initiative. To build a metro itself is a challenge because it's already grown-up city, and to build a metro in PPP, public-private partnership, where we are still in that what is called the socialist era of thinking, it becomes all the more difficult. Today, I am asked to address these challenges, to talk about these challenges. Those who are in Hyderabad are aware, day in and day out, we deal with these things. First of all, the features of this metro, Hyderabad Metro, it is a completely elevated metro. 3 corridors were covering in phase 1, 72 kilometers. This completely elevated metro, we are also looking at this project as not as a simple mass transit system, but making use of this system. I used to discuss with Dr. Sudhir Krishna, how do we redesign Indian cities as people-friendly green cities? Okay, cities all over the world made this mistake. Cities are initially built for cars, but then they realize that you can't build cities for cars. You have to build cities for people. You have to build cities for children. You have to build cities for old people. You have to build cities for women. You have to build cities for physically disabled people. So all these features, intermodal integration, that means you have to integrate the main rail, bus depots and different feeder buses, etc., different systems, create excellent, what Dr. Sudhir Krishna is talking about, non-motorized transport facilities, bicycle tracks, then skywalks, then sidewalks, all these things, if we combine it to this, it becomes a real project. It's an opportunity for us to redesign, and it's an urban redesign or urban rejuvenation process. Actually, this is what actually, see, when I made this presentation in New York, then they said this is real engineering. That's how we got Hyderabad Metro has been selected as the global engineering project of the year, the best engineering project of the year. This is engineering. It is social engineering. It's something beyond engineering. Why I'm talking about these particular things? As young engineers, you have to understand your mere engineering skills. Of course, that itself, you know, see, as the Honorable Minister has talked about, all of you are becoming engineers. But do you really have engineering skills is the most important thing. You have to be employable. Okay. First, you develop your engineering skills. Afterwards, you start thinking beyond engineering. There are many things I'm going to talk about. This project, if you have to do a project like this, you have to develop skills other than engineering. In fact, when I address either in IIT or IIM anywhere, they first ask me, so what are your challenges? I say in this project, only 35% of the challenges are engineering challenges and 65% of the challenges are non-engineering challenges. Okay, I'll talk about these non-engineering challenges right from the alignment. So for every non-engineering challenge, you have to give an engineering solution to overcome a non-engineering challenge. That's a real challenge. Okay. For the first time, what is called CBTC technology, communication-based train control system, that is radio-based communication. Those who are with signaling and telecommunications background or electronics engineering, they will understand this particular. For the first time, we're bringing this technology to this country. This practically gives you 1.5 minute frequency. If required, every 1.5 minute, I can run a train. Okay. Even if we assume that actually you are running a train every 2 minutes, that means 30 trains in one direction from place A to place B. If we run, you know, initially we're going to run 3-car trains, 3-coach trains, then it becomes 6-coach trains. That means in a 6-coach train, you can carry or you can transport 2,000 people in one direction to another direction. That means in an hour, you should be able to transport about 60,000 passengers from one direction to another direction. This is called what is called a heavy metro. Initially, Hyderabad Metro was designed as a medium metro. Then we have converted into heavy metro. A lot of engineering has gone into it. I'm glad that an organization like L&T has become our partner. It's a pride thing that actually we are proud of the kind of engineering skills they have brought to this project and to this country. You see, for example, I'll give a small example. Stations, how do you build stations in when so much of traffic is there in the roads? So my friend, you know, Mr. Shankarlingam, when I posed this question, why don't you do something else actually instead of conventional? Normally what happens in a station, you have a middle pillar, you have one pillar this side, you have one pillar that side. It's a portal structure. Portal structure, the criticism against elevated metros is that actually it will give you some sort of tunnel look. That's number one. Number two, how do you do this project actually so without disrupting the traffic? So they came up with this idea that, you know, we have done earlier, okay, for one flyover, what is called the spine and wing concept. You have the spine, then you have 2 wings, okay, taking inspiration from the bird actually. Why don't you adopt that here and eliminate the side pillars? So that's a marvelous thing actually, but you know, structural engineers will understand the complications involved in building that kind of a structure. Now today they have mastered it, okay. So without disrupting traffic, you have not blocked the road. At the same time, actually the whole thing is precast. So the solution we have arrived at is both for the viaduct and for the stations is that almost 85% of our construction were converted into precast, okay, and only 15% only the foundation and the pillar, initial stage, what's called pier, that's the only thing that is done in situ. Rest is all done elsewhere. We have established 2 casting yards, which are the biggest casting yards of the country. At Uppal, 72 acres, and another one at another end, Kutbalapur, it's about 62 acres. We have established, and almost 85% of the segments are cast there. In the night, we bring them here on low-bedded trolleys, etc., and then do the entire thing. Okay, so like this, lot of technologies, new technologies we have brought to this country. Like every city is doing something interesting. Okay, all the metros, if you see, Delhi Metro itself is a wonder. When projects were taking 20 to 25 years, Dr. Sridharan, who was my guru, he proved the capabilities of Indians. Actually, Indians are capable of building a world-class metro in just, it took about 7.5 years. Then Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Mumbai, all these things, we started improving on that actually. We have learned actually see from Delhi Metro City. That's a lot of improvement. So with this message, I congratulate IMRT for doing this kind of a wonderful initiative they have taken. First time in the country, a postgraduate program in metro and rail technology. As Honorable Minister has mentioned it, it's a need of the hour. We are going to do that. I'm also associated and thankful for Barcel for associating me in this particular thing. I'm pretty confident, I'm sure that this institute will become a world-class institute. Mr. Sunil Srivastav has the courage, okay? He doesn't mind losing money initially to make this a world-class institute. So with this leadership and Mr. Ramakrishnan and under the guidance of all our stalwarts, rail stalwarts are here, metro experts are here. With this, I'm pretty sure Hyderabad, this institute of Hyderabad IMRT will become a world-class institute, and all of you will have very good placements. All of you have to be leaders of the next generation.